You see the glow, baby. You see the glow. Anyway, so I'm sure that this is Chocolate Cake 101. There's been a few things that have been going on in my recent reality, some conversations that have just really triggered me, and I want to type this conversation with you guys. First thing, and I've talked about this before, I think I have a whole video before, but it's done on me that with all the repetition going on to lead you one way, there should also be the exact equal, if not more, repetition to help you see things differently. So I'm just gonna keep saying it and keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it. This conversation is about fear. So I was in DC and I wanted to do something that my cousins were like, no, don't do it, Jenna. It's not safe, blah, 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 blah. And I get it, and I didn't do it because I understand the how we feel about fear, but I really want us to understand fear in a different level because in the in the grand spectrum of things, the scale, fear is winning hard. Fear is one way of how people are controlled. Fear puts you in a box. Fear limits you. I've talked about this before. Fear keeps you mediocre. Um, Fear controls you and your children, your children's children. Fear controls the narrative, and we gotta let fear. We gotta take some of that power back. So there's that saying, "There's nothing to fear but fear itself." That is a very good phrase because what it's saying is the frequency of fear is the only thing that you need to be concerned about because being on that frequency brings things to you that keeps you on that frequency. So this is the belief of understanding, or this is the understanding that reality is happening from your point of view, and everything that is happening around you is in direct reflection of how you feel about yourself and how you feel about the world. What is the saying? The world is a reflection. Um, Everything is you pushed out. Everyone is you pushed out. So you are going to see, taste, hear, touch, smell things that are in direct agreement of what you think you're getting. So I've said this before. If you think it's bad, things they gotta the your mind being all the universe is going to show you how bad things are. If you think things are good, the world, the universe, God, the high power are going to show you those things as well, because you're in alignment with that energy. So being in alignment with worry, anxiety, fear is only putting you in a reality of keeping those feelings valid. Fear, worry, anxiety, jealousy, those are, I've said it before, those are archetypes. Those are energies that live through you. They cannot live in human form on this earth. They live with you and your relationship to other things, people, places, and events. And I had this conversation with a gentleman friend of mine because his points were very valid in his fear and in his worry. And that goes into the conversation of who's controlling your reality when you're a kid, who's creating for you. And so many different scholars have talked about this. I'm not going to talk about this today because I'm still trying to. It's not that I don't hear them, there's got to be more to it. I feel like these are half truths. But when you are in control of your awareness, when you are aware and you are taking steps to control your reality, what was I going to say to you? Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I'm silly. I'm silly. You know I am. Let me do an environment check. Okay, that's what we're talking about, fear. Because I do a lot of stuff that people are like, "Oh my gosh, that's so I would never do that." Da, 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 da." That's because you're not me. That's because you don't control your reality. That's because you don't even think you can control your reality. You have no understanding of free will, and everything is given to an entity that you believe is outside of you, but really is a part of you, because everything is, there is no separation. It's all one. It's at this again, this is all about invoking the God power that is already within you by divine right, instead of believing that it's not yours and that you are giving your free will to it, to a church or to some type of entity that isn't controlling your circumstances in the first place and doesn't care to. So when it comes to fear, I'm not saying don't move with discernment. But what I am saying is, I'm not saying not to move with discernment. Yeah, y'all know I'm silly. But what I am saying is, that's exactly what I'm saying. When you do move with discernment, try not to be so silly, because I need y'all to take me seriously. Alright, I'm gonna have to cut. I might have to cut some of this out. I'm not saying don't move with discernment, but what I am saying is, when you move with a higher level of discernment, as in being one with yourself, working with your intuition, feeling God, living in your spirits, using your intuition, using the protection that is given around you, then you won't have to worry so much, physically, emotionally worry so much, because you're already handling it. And that's what believing in God, that's what faith is. It's using yourself on, it's believing in a higher law so you can live in a higher level, in a higher dimension, in a better way, with more fun. You take risks because you understand that you are limitless. And a lot of people are afraid to live in that reality, but it is a reality that is available to you, and it does come with certain responsibility. You can do it though. You're God, right? So when I talk about fear, we're talking about fear of all levels. We're talking about your physical safety. We're talking about the fear to be vulnerable, the fear to be confident, the fear to be vulnerably confident. We're talking about fear of things that you don't want happening. We're talking about fear with finances, fear with the safety of the people that you love, worry, anxiety, any emotion that doesn't feel well. If the emotion doesn't feel good to feel it, it is tis fear. It is fear. And that's what you want to control. And how you control that is by understanding that you get to control what happens to you. And you control it by your focus, by your attention and your intention. So instead of thinking about what you don't want to happen, you can just as easily think about what you do want to happen. And as you're thinking about what you don't want to happen, this is a really good time to flip it and think about what you do want to happen. And you don't have to be specific with it, but you can be just in general. I want peace. I want to feel good about today. I want something great to happen. I want to feel safe. I want to feel loved. That can be your intention. So as you're worried about what someone's got going on over there, or how your bills are going to get paid, you can just simply say it. I want everything to work out. I want the bills to be paid. And then feel good about, that's how you ask God. And then say thank you. Feel good about that. Feel good about what that feels like. This is how you work through fear. And you're going to have to do that a number of times before it's just your innate response to not be so negative. But doing it 1-2 times, you'll see the benefit to keep going. And you'll forget to do it because you're going to go back to the regular thinking of worry. But you'll see that when you do lead with faith and confidence, that that what you want happens more of the time. This is it doesn't have to be baby steps. It doesn't. I'm just letting you know, if it turns into baby steps, that's okay, because you have lived a lifetime, however old you are, you have lived a lifetime of doing it, of living in survival or living through fear. And now you get to change that and live a lifetime, or live for the rest of your life understanding that you have control over how things work out for you. You've always had control. We were just bred into a system that taught us against our innate control. So in turn, we were giving up our free will to control the reality. And you're not controlling how it happens, you're just controlling the outcome. So you're not worried about how this is going to go through, because that's a whole nother conversation. All you're doing is not allowing fear to reign, to live rent free in your head. Because if you haven't noticed, it's kind of getting wonky and kind of turning out. It's the I told you so shit. You thought it was going to happen and it did. I remember walking into a bathroom one day and saying to myself, when I leave this bathroom, I'm going to have toilet paper on my foot. And I looked and I didn't have toilet paper on my foot. But sure enough, when I was out in the restaurant, I had toilet paper on my foot. And guess what? Who the fuck cares? It wasn't a big deal. All I'm saying is, it's like Job. What I thought was going to happen did. Things that I feared did happen. So this is about you being aware of what you're thinking, and instead of choosing thoughts that you don't like, choosing thoughts that you do like, and then allowing those thoughts to play. I don't think we have to continue and do a whole long lecture about this. I'm just going to keep reminding you that you don't have to live in fear. And when you do live in fear, don't be surprised if some scary ass shit happens. I'm Sheila Jade. This is Chocolate Cake 101. Peace.